For the second consecutive week, ESPN delivered its second most watched WNBA game ever. Okay, Indiana Fever versus Chicago Sky on ABC averaged 2.6 million viewers, up 79%. It says WNBA on ESPN networks is up 5%. Caitlin Clark shutting down the ratings. Shutting it down, taking it over. MVP on the court, off the court, in the box score, in the television, box offices, everywhere. MVP everywhere. MVCC. That's what it is. Okay, ESPN delivered its second most watched WNBA game ever for the second consecutive week. It says this matchup ranks as ESPN Network's second most viewed WNBA game on record, including both regular season and playoff games. The audience was up 79% compared to last year's ABC regular season average.
83 games. That's all it took for Caitlin Clark to do something that, on paper, shouldn't have been mathematically possible this early in a career. And once the numbers were confirmed, the league had no real choice but to stop and acknowledge it. In just 83 career games, Clark became the fastest player in WNBA history to reach 700 career assists. Not top 5, not close, but somebody still ahead of her. The fastest by a margin that isn't even competitive once you actually line the numbers up side by side. If that were the whole story, it would already be worth its own conversation. A rookie-era guard rewriting the league's assist record book that fast is significant on its own. But it's not the whole story, because Clark didn't just break a WNBA record. She broke a record that spans 2 entire professional leagues. And that's a different level of conversation entirely. Here's the part that made this genuinely impossible to ignore. No matter how anyone feels about her or her fan base, no NBA player has reached 700 career assists faster than Caitlin Clark in the last 30 years.
Right there, too, not to call technical. Marike upset, thought she had some contact. Again!
It's Mitchell again! Put it on repeat!
I just got done watching Caitlin Clark put BTA to the Liberty. The Fever end up winning this game by 14 points thanks to Caitlin Clark. She was out there dominating with 22 points and 10 assists, helping Kelsey Mitchell get them 28 points. I gotta say, Kelsey Mitchell and CC are a great duo.
Ty, obviously you've had a lot you've gone through in your career, and what does it feel like to have a perfect game? Usually reserved for baseball, but what does that feel like for you? And then secondly, what is it like to sit next to Caitlin after having 29 and 10 and she makes regular game or games that aren't regular look regular?
I mean, I'm at all watching CC play. Sometimes it's like it's normal and it's not. So it's just great to be on her side officially this year.
See, 29 and 10. Yeah. Hell of a job. You're finding every.
Not since the year 2000. Think about who's actually played in the NBA since then. Chris Paul, one of the greatest pure point guards the sport has ever produced. Steve Nash, a 2-time MVP built entirely around vision and passing. Rajon Rondo, a player whose Hall of Fame case rests on finding teammates in impossible windows. Russell Westbrook, the most prolific triple-double machine basketball has ever seen. None of them got to 700 assists faster than a guard playing her second professional season in a completely different league. That's not a WNBA stat with a quiet asterisk attached, the kind broadcasters mention once and move past. That's a basketball stat, full stop. And it belongs in the same conversation as anyone who has ever made a career out of finding open teammates. So naturally, the reaction was immediate. The league office, the broadcast partners, the official team accounts, all of them lit up with the announcement within minutes. And look, some people are going to roll their eyes at that. They're going to say, of course the WNBA is talking about Caitlin Clark again. She gets more coverage than anyone else in the league. Same story, different day. But that criticism misses the point, and it always has. The WNBA doesn't have a choice here. When a player sets a record this significant, this cleanly, this undeniably, you cover it because that's the job. That's not favoritism. And it's not some campaign to elevate one player over her peers. It's simply what a league does when real history happens on the floor in front of paying customers. If someone else had hit this exact mark, the league would be posting about.
Here is the only MVP conversation. This is the real MVP conversation. These two. That's it. That's all. And I know a lot of y'all hate Caitlyn, right? But to say, if you say she not gonna win or whatever, that's fine. But for y'all to act like she ain't even in the conversation is ridiculous. Like, y'all have to stop. Anyways, the last 4 games, right? These are A'ja Wilson's averages, and this is Caitlyn Clark's averages. And when it comes to point per game, A'ja Wilson averaging 21 points, Caitlyn Clark averaging 24 points. When it comes to rebounds a game, A'ja averaging 10. When it comes to assists, Caitlyn Clark is averaging 10 assists. And I want y'all to do the math on that. That's anywhere between 20 to 30 extra points. So when you add it on top of the 24, or the 24 or 25, we talking about Caitlyn generating 50 points.
Them just as loudly and just as rightfully, because the record is the story, not the person attached to it. And that's the part that keeps getting lost in how this conversation gets framed by people looking for a reason to be upset. Clark isn't demanding the spotlight every time she steps on the floor. She's not manufacturing storylines to stay trending. She's producing results that make the spotlight impossible to avoid, whether she's chasing it or not. Fastest to 500 career assists. Fastest to 700. Records that took established NBA legends, guys with decades of combined playmaking greatness between them, multiple extra seasons to reach. And she's doing it while leading her team in usage, drawing record crowds in every arena she travels to, and doing all of it as essentially a second-year player still figuring out her body and her role at the highest level of the sport.
Particularly in the third quarter. She had a massive third quarter. 34 minutes, 29 points, 11 of 18, 2 of 8 from three-point range, 10 assists. She only had 1 turnover tonight, by the way. The 20-point Kelsey Mitchell streak, oh boy, it was looking a little iffy on this. But Caitlyn Clark came out of the game, and Kelsey got her scoring in.
When the numbers get this loud, the coverage follows the numbers. That's how it's always worked in professional sports, and it isn't going to change because part of the audience wishes it would. Which brings us to Olivia Miles. And this is where the story takes a turn, one that a lot of people didn't fully see coming, or maybe saw coming from a mile away, given everything that had been simmering under the surface all season. Right around the same time the basketball world was celebrating Clark's 700 assist milestone, shortly after the graphics went up and the highlight reels started circulating, Miles was spotted liking a post on Instagram that took a direct shot at Clark. The post read, "Plain as day for anyone scrolling past it. Olivia Miles is what everyone thinks Caitlyn Clark is." That's not a subtle jab dressed up in coded language. That's not something you explain away as a misclick or an algorithm surfacing a post out of context.
Everybody want to talk trash about Caitlyn. Look at Olivia's defense. Just letting her woman go. Look. What is that? What is that? What type of defense is that? Because everybody want to talk trash about Caitlyn, even though hers ain't like this. Look, leaving a man wide open. Wide open. Knocked it down. They almost lost this game. They went on a run. Look at biting. They went on a run and came all the way back because Olivia can't guard the stop sign. This what we doing. Look at that. Wide open. Dominating her. Like, y'all don't ever keep it real. See, this thing about me, I'm going to go find it. I'm going to keep it real. All it is, y'all just have a magnifying glass on Caitlyn. So anytime she sneezes, y'all see it. Look at everybody taking a turn.
That's a direct comparison, specifically designed to diminish one player while elevating another. And Miles put her name on it publicly for her entire following to see and screenshot immediately. Now, to be fair to Olivia Miles for a second, because this conversation deserves fairness even when the subject matter is frustrating, she's genuinely having a strong rookie season of her own. Averaging close to 20 points, over 6 assists, and nearly 5 rebounds a night isn't something to shrug off. She's broken some of Clark's own early career benchmarks along the way, reaching certain scoring and assist thresholds over a shorter stretch of games. She's put together highlight reel 3-point shooting nights that have turned heads among people who watch this league closely. There's a real player here, with a legitimate case for attention on her own merit, completely separate from anything involving Clark.